Who are the Masons? The modern fraternity of free and accepted Masons, or the Freemasons, has existed officially since St. John's Day in London in June 1717, but its true origins are clouded in the obscurity of time, mystery, and bad record-keeping. That's from Christopher Hodap, Solomon's Builders. That's from Chapter 1 of a new book I have called The Secret Temple, Masons, Mysteries, and the Founding of America by Peter Levenda. I haven't read it yet, so I'll give you a review later, but if it's anything like his other works, I'm sure it'll be really good. Hello and welcome to another edition of the Stench of Truth. Much like the Obama Kenyan birth certificate, which apparently is making its rounds again on YouTube, and some people unfortunately see this and fall for it and think that it's something new, which of course it's not. There is also the propensity for people to just quickly latch on to something and think that what they're getting is the real deal, and the interpretation thereof is made without doing any research. And that is true for Obama's executive order 13524, which amends Executive Order 12425, which designates Interpol as a public international organization entitled to enjoy certain privileges, exemptions, and immunity. And this is from December 16th, 2009. I'll read it in its entirety for you. By the authority vested in me as President, by the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, including Section 1 of the International Organizations Immunities Act, 22 U.S.C. 288, and in order to extend the appropriate privileges, exemptions, and immunities to the International Criminal Police Organization, it is hereby ordered that Executive Order 12425 of June 16, 1983, as amended, is further amended by deleting from the first sentence the words, except those provided by Section 2C, Section 3, Section 4, Section 5, and Section 6 of that Act, and the semicolon that immediately precedes them. Okay. Does President Obama grant immunity to Interpol? No, he doesn't. He doesn't grant them immunity because immunity was granted to Interpol by President Reagan in 1983 by Executive Order 12425, which I will read. International criminal police organizations, by virtue of the authority vested in me as the President by the Constitution and statutes of the United States, including Section 1 of the International Organizations Immunities Act, 59 Statute 669, 22 U.S.C. 288, it is hereby ordered that the International Criminal Police Organization, Interpol, in which the United States participates pursuant to 22 U.S.C. 263A, is hereby designated as a public international organization entitled to enjoy the privileges, exemptions, and immunities conferred by the International Organizations Immunities Act, except those provided by Section 2C, the portions of Section 2D and Section 3 relating to customs duties and federal internal revenue importation taxes, Section 4, Section 5, and Section 6 of that Act. This designation is not intended to abridge in any respect the privileges, exemptions, or immunities which such organizations may have acquired or may acquire by international agreement or by congressional action. A couple things I want to say. I'm no lover of Obama, as I've always said, but let's get the facts straight before we start blurting our mouths, okay? I don't like what he's done because what he's done is he's giving them a broader base of operation in this country. He's not conferring any more immunity. The only thing he's doing is pretty much making it so they don't have to pay taxes, because Section 2C regards property and assets of international organization shall be immune from search. So you can't search your property. It's not good. It's not good, but let's be clear. Let's be absolutely clear about what we're talking about before we shoot our mouths off, okay? President Reagan, who is loved by the right-wing stiffs and the so-called conservatives, is the one that gave Interpol immunity to operate in this country, not Obama, okay? Now, The other sections that were changed is Section 3, which regards the Commissioner of Customs as regards baggage and effects. Okay? Section 4 has to do with the Internal Revenue Code and whether or not they have to pay taxes. Section 5 has to do with the Social Security Act, and Section 6 has to do with property taxes. Okay? And let's see. He did not strike out Section 2D, which was insofar as concerns customs duties and internal revenue taxes imposed upon or by reason of importation and the procedures in connection therewith, the registration of foreign agents and the treatment of official communications, the privileges, exemptions, and immunities to which international organizations shall be entitled shall be those accorded under similar circumstances to foreign governments. So apparently 2D remains in effect because he did not specifically strike that. So we're not clear because Reagan said certain portions of Section 2D. We don't know what portions of Section 2D because it doesn't say in the executive order. And apparently whatever those portions of Section 2D that applied under Reagan still apply under Obama because he did not change them. And need I also point out that under Section 1 of Public Law 79-291, the President has the right and the authority to do this exact thing by executive order. It was given to him by Congress. Now, I have a problem with that. So I need to talk to Congress to see about getting this authority rescinded, because this is something that should be done by Congress, in my view. Not something that should just be unilaterally decided by the President, whoever they are. Okay? And let's see, Section 2B, which is still in effect, as it were, international organizations, and this is the actual meat of it. Section 2B, which was in effect in the original executive order put into effect by President Reagan, beloved of the so-called right and the right-wing stiffs and the conservatives in this country, is the one that gave Interpol immunity, okay? International organizations, their property and their assets, wherever located, and by whomsoever held, shall enjoy the same immunity from suit and every form of judicial process as is enjoyed by foreign governments, except to the extent that such organizations may expressly waive their immunity for the purpose of any proceedings or by the terms of any contract. Now, the importance of pointing out what the truth is in this and where this originated from, that is that immunity was given to Interpol by President Reagan and not by President Obama, is to illustrate further that there is no difference between the left and the right, the so-called left and the so-called right. Okay? And if people would do their homework and see exactly where the truth lies, you would see that this is not how I'm sure conservative and so-called right-wing people will label it, as a socialist takeover of the United States by a leftist president. It is merely the continuation of the same agenda of the powers that be. First enacted by President Reagan, beloved of the right. So, take this as an object lesson. Thank you.